Good morning. We are back in the kitchen. I'm Connie from Connie's Kitchen here at Treetop Lodge. I was thinking about sandwiches and my special. I make a grilled cheese sandwich here at the lodge. It has become very popular. People who have heard from other people come here asking for it. I thought it would be fun, since it's summertime, to see if I could make the grilled cheese on the grill. So today's kind of an experiment. I bought what I thought was just one of those regular old hamburger things, but this is much more state-of-the-art, so it's all an experiment today. The secret to my magnificent grilled cheese sandwich is really not that big a secret. Key is the bread. This is everything Vienna bread from Meyer, and it's perfect size for a sandwich. You can cut it up, make it to bites for an hors d'oeuvre, but I think it's called everything because it's got all this wonderful seasoning on the outside. It seems like poppy seeds and a little bit of sea salt, all sorts of good stuff. And it's a nice consistency. It takes the butter well, so it toasts up nice. That's really the big secret to Connie's grilled cheese sandwiches. There you go, secret is out. When you have a loaf like this too, see, because it's inconsistent size, always try to take 2 slices at a time and keep them in a pair so you don't end up with odd sandwiches. So basically, I mean, everybody knows how to make a grilled cheese. Excuse me, I'm drinking Coke this morning. All right, see if we can do this. All right, first of all, the basics, you have to butter the outside. So I softened up some butter this morning, which is tightened back up on me a little bit. And since this is going to go on the grill, I'm going to actually use a little bit more butter because I don't know how it's going to act on the grill. And we're going to put that right in the cage. And I'll just do one at a time. Of course, it's grilled cheese, so you need cheese. Duh. So put some cheese on there. Now this is where it becomes a little bit more special, I think. I'm going to slather the other piece on the inside with some cream cheese. In this case, what did I grab? Chive and onion. And then I'm going to do the part that makes most people go, "Ooh, really?" I'm going to spread some jam. This one happens to be rose hip jam that Katie Goff made for me from Wild Rose Hips. You don't have to worry about spreading it out an awful lot because it'll do that on the grill. So you want to flip it, and then we'll just butter the outside. And then, since I'm experimenting, I'm going to make a couple different things. I was thinking of, talking about sandwiches. It's funny, you ask people what their favorite sandwiches are and such, and a lot of people can go to a specific restaurant and such. My husband makes something called the Big Sandwich once a year, and it's called that because it's an entire loaf of Italian bread. He hollows it out, he lines it with olives, and then he adds all the Italian meats, the prosciutto and the soppressata and all those different things, and Italian cheeses. And when he's done, it's a loaf. And then he doesn't eat it all in one sitting. It's breakfast, lunch, and dinner for about 3 days. But he does it every year for his birthday. So that's his favorite sandwich. And I was thinking, my dad used to, when I was a kid, make a sandwich that I thought was kind of odd until I tried it. So we're going to try doing that, but we're going to grill it. So I'm going to butter my bread again on the outside. And we're going to use peanut butter and cheddar cheese. I don't know that Dad ever toasted or grilled this. I think he would just make it to take to work with him. But why not? Like I said, it's an experiment. If it doesn't work, we just don't do it again. So here's our cheddar cheese. We're going to cheese this one up a little bit more. Put the peanut butter on there. And that's for you, Dad. And butter the outside. And then when we go outside, I'm going to fire up the grill, even though I don't know what the weather's doing right now. But, we grill up here all the time. So I also made some bacon, because everything's better with bacon. So we're going to... Basically what I do here when I make these sandwiches is just what you see. I just pull out a whole bunch of stuff and start playing around. So even the guests that are up here know you have to have more than one because they're never the same. There's all different kinds. So, and that's true. So I'm going to use some cream cheese. Ooh, if I had some caramelized onions. But it's early in the day, so I didn't do that. All right, so put some nice crispy bacon on there. put a little extra of the cream cheese because I want it to hold together. This whole thing started with the odd grilled cheese sandwiches. Actually, up here was one of those times when I had to put something together quickly. And I just pulled a whole bunch out of the stuff out of the fridge, and I thought, well, okay, you start with grilled cheese. And it just kind of went from there. And like I said, it's become a real favorite, and it's very, very simple. So I've been having fun with it. We've been busy up here, a lot of people up. I just had a very busy week that began with some guests that actually were here for the Mutter, came back for a weekend. Then a whole week of scrapping and quilting. You should see the quilts that these ladies were working on. The one lady said she'll be done with hers in about 3 years and promised to send me a picture of it. It was very, very intricate, but just absolutely gorgeous. And then we finished off that week with a visit from General and Mrs. Custer, who were here for Lone Ranger Festival parade. And as a matter of fact, you look around OCTV or check my playlist, and you will find an interview that we did up here at the lodge. And that was wonderful, getting to talk to them and hear their story and everything else. It was really great. All right. We need some butter. We need some bacon. We need some cheese. We need to make the bacon do what we want it to do. There we go. Now this is another one of those things that a lot of guys will go, oh, I can't believe you're doing that. But once they try it, then they get that whole sweet and savory effect. And it's a whole different thing. So we'll go and come back. We're going to be out at the grill. And we're going to see if my experiment here is going to work. So that gives us a good starting point. Let me see if I can figure this thing out now. Yes, I've got butter all over the table. Because it wouldn't be an official day here for me if I didn't end up with butter all over myself. This is where this gets interesting. I'll figure it out. So anyway, we've had a lot going on. We've got a lot more coming up. So I hope you'll check us out and come up and visit. We need to do some unicorn shoots pretty soon because that's been a lot of fun. Hey, look, it's on and it's stayed there. All right. And I'll let you know about that because we're always on the lookout for new unicorns. Speaking of which, you might have noticed Tracy back here. Tracy came to me as a gift from my oral surgeon's office. And she's named Tracy after the person who gave her to me, of course. So today is her first day here. And she's going to get to go and meet the rest of the unicorns and find her place in the house. So, but that doesn't mean everybody should start sending me unicorns, because we do have enough. But it was a fun thing. So I'm going to get this mess cleaned up, and I'll meet you out at the grill.
We cure 80% of children with cancer. If you think about that, I mean, go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. There's one thing we're focused on here at St. Jude, and that's beating this thing.
Hey, we're back. We're outside now, obviously, and I got the grill roaring hot. Believe me, it's hot. I was just talking about this. I'm going to take the grill apart when we're done today and clean it, which is my least favorite part of grilling. But I do a lot of marinades and, of course, fresh meat up here, so it needs to get cleaned frequently. So once it cools off today, I'll take all these parts out, all these guards, the tray underneath, clean them thoroughly, get all the debris out, and then I'll put them through the dishwasher so I can sanitize them. A lot of this is this part is the dark is gonna stay because we get the grill so screaming hot up here when we do things. And that's just it's a patina it has developed over time. So I've got all the burners going because I wanted to get it hot, but I don't need them all. So I'm gonna turn off 2, and I'm gonna turn down a couple. And now the experiment begins. We will put, oh, I hear sizzle. Oh, look at that. Maybe I don't want to close the lid on this. I want to keep an eye on it. That's the butter. It's probably going to be quicker than inside. So we're outside now, and we'll watch this while we look at the grounds. It looks so pretty today. We've got some more wood chips that we're going to be spreading in the center area here by the yellow brick road. So we have some people coming in that have requested using that. We have a lot of people call and ask they want to come up and take photographs, senior pictures, and pregnancy progressive photos and such. It's a beautiful place for that. The barn is a nice backdrop, and we've got some definite grilling going on here. I know they'll taste good. I'm experimenting with how this process is going to actually work. But we'll see. The butter's all nice and pooling on the top. So I'm going to keep watching this. I'm not going to look at you for a second because in case I get a flare up. We're kicking around some new ideas. We had some people up here, some ladies that said, can I ever just come back for a day and just hang out? Have lunch, find a nice quiet corner, read a book. Yeah, definitely. I think what I'll probably do is post some dates and see what kind of a response we get and go from there. There we go, we got the flare up again. Okay, so they're not quite toasted yet, so I will turn them back. This is all a timing thing at this point. And of course, the holidays are coming up. I'm getting a lot of calls, family parties, business gatherings. I have a couple of business groups, some that have been here before for like a day-long kind of a retreat where they all get together outside their office and they can discuss business and various things that are coming up. And of course, I feed them and all that, so we can do that too. And then I have another big group coming in over the course of like 2 weekends for scrapbooking. And we did something new a couple weeks ago. I called it a flex week. There was this large group of ladies that wanted to come up and scrap and quilt, but a couple of them had to work, and then a couple wanted to stay overnight. So we just basically opened it up from Monday morning till Friday evening, and ladies were able to come and go as their schedule permitted. So if you can't get your group together and lock them down to 3 days or 2 days or whatever, give me a call because we can work out a flex week like that. So I had some of the ladies came in and stayed from Friday to Monday. And then, like I said, others came and went. One lady stayed 2 nights. One lady went to work and came back in the evenings. So that worked out really well, and it gives you more flexibility. You know, I know how difficult it can be to try to get a whole group of people locked down to the same time period. And we do get busier in the fall, I think probably because the kids are back in school. And so people are able to get that time away. They get the kids back and get them on their schedule, and then they're able to get some time away to themselves. Plus, a lot of people are preparing for Christmas. They do Christmas gifts and such. I had one group of ladies wants to go Christmas shopping all day and then come up and spend the night and wrap their presents all night so that when they go home, everything's wrapped and ready to go. So that'd be fun. So we can do all that. Like I said, I'll go back to my original caveat about the only things we don't do up here are kids and noise. But noise we just don't do because we don't want to disturb people. But kids, of course, are welcome. You know, when you have a shower or a wedding or something, family groups, you know, we don't bar them at the door. We just ask that you keep an eye on them because it's really not a place for kids. We don't have a lot of entertainment for kids. So you need to think about that. So we're getting some nice grill marks. I'm going to turn these two up a little bit more and see what's happening there. I don't think I can close this with this thing on there. Yeah, I can. There we go. Okay. And of course, the show's going great. We've got, I think this is episode 43, and we're going to be filming at least one a week for the next few weeks. We're going to have all sorts of guests. Elise Shire from the Oxford Leaders coming up, Don Brantley from the DPW, Ron Davis. I've been out to the park. Now he's going to come out here, and he's bringing his own ingredients. Whatever he creates is going to be all him, and I'll be his sous chef that day. So that'll be fun. And Ron is always a lot of fun to hang out with. And if you haven't had a chance, go up to Seymour Lake Park and see the beautiful new Parks and Rec office building. They converted the old maintenance building, and it's beautiful. It's come in under budget, it's come in on time, it's open and operating, and they finally have a home where they're all in the same place at the same time. All their facilities are right there, which is great. So they've worked really hard to make that happen. So we got that coming up, and you know, I get calls all the time. A lot of times it's a scheduling thing, but I'd love to have guests in the kitchen. Today I had 3 different people lined up, and things fell apart at the last minute, but I'm here. So, of course, I am told I'm much more entertaining when I have someone to actually talk to. Now, I don't know why it is that I've got one that's real toasty, and those aren't browning up as much. And it's probably something to do with my flame. So, I don't know. But we're getting there. So, pretty soon these will be done, and we'll go inside, and we'll cut them, and we'll eat them, and we'll see how all our various flavor combinations came out. I was talking about earlier about, I didn't mention this to you, I was talking to someone else about the deer. We have a mama and 2 fawns that are actually living on the property, and we've seen them in different places. And this morning when I came out, mama was laying right out there by the path, and I didn't see the fawns until Kyle got here, and he saw the 2 fawns. They had all been sleeping out there. We asked them to stay around, but they were a little camera shy. So we have a lot of deer on the property this year, and they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to watch. We can kind of time them at 3 o'clock. About 3 o'clock, they come in the big field and come through, and then in the evenings they're behind the house, and a lot of them bed down right here next to the house. So in the morning you get to see them popping their little heads up when they wake up, because it's a safe place and they know it. And of course we have our raccoons with the bad attitudes, and we have squirrels and rabbits and all sorts of things. I think what we're going to end up here with is one that's very charred and the other 3 that are toasted perfectly. So I'll figure this out next time. It'll be even better. But so that's what we've got going on up here. All sorts of stuff, getting caught up, getting things ready, and yeah, thinking about Christmas. I'm already thinking about the decorations and such, because we'll have people up in December, so chances are the decorations will go up right after Thanksgiving, but not before. We have to have Thanksgiving first. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I think I've got one here that's uber charred. And I just discovered the drawback to doing it this way is I didn't bring anything out to open this up and take the one off. So note to self in the future, bring my tongs out and my UV glove, which I brought out, but I don't know what I did with it. Probably a unicorn. So we're just about ready to take these off, I think. Yep, nice and toasty. Nice and toasty. We almost had a disaster a few minutes ago. I fired up the grill and the tank was empty. But I had a spare, so. Oh, this is fun. This looks good. And I'm hungry, so that's good. So, check us out. And when we go back inside, we'll see you in a few minutes. I'll bring these inside, and we'll see how our little experiment turned out.
Have you mixed your pain meds, your sleep meds, your allergy meds? Call the Poison Helpline. Has your child swallowed household cleaner, a chip of paint, a wild mushroom? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you been bitten by a spider, a snake, an insect? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first to speak with medical professionals who can give you free personal advice anytime. 1-800-222-1222. Save the number, save a life.
What could you lose in a home fire? Your possessions? Your home? Your memories? Don't let your world go up in smoke. Make sure you have working smoke alarms. And keep children 3 feet away from anything that gets hot, because fire is everyone's fight.
And we're back in the kitchen, and I've cooled off a little bit. Even on a day like today, probably because it's so muggy, it's really hot standing out there. But you know the fun thing about grilling, and which is why we do it all year long, is it can be a very social time. You know, you don't have to be standing out there all by yourself or stuck in the kitchen all by yourself. You can make it part of the party. You know, hand somebody a spatula and tell them to get flipping the burgers. Draw people in and make it part of what you're doing instead of just something that somebody else is doing for you. So I'm just going to toss a simple tossed salad together here. I got a nice fresh tomato. Oh gosh, that smells. Oh, Michigan tomatoes are starting to come in. Yeah, it's almost full tomato season. So we'll put some of those on there. Now, if you want to do this as like an hors d'oeuvre, you probably wouldn't put a salad out because that's really not finger food. But I'm just making up a plate for myself because I'm hungry. So I'm going to get my famous red onion. Got to have the red onion. Let go. And then I just pulled some dressing out of the fridge. I have a zesty lime that I've used on several things. Makes a great marinade. And I think for something like this, it'll really perk up a salad. So just going to drizzle a little bit of that on there. If I can remember how to open it. Yes, I've got the shakes. I'm drinking Coke this morning. But it tasted good. All right, just drizzle a little bit of that. And then I'm going to get rid of this stuff. Easier said than done. Put that right back there. And then I'm going to open this up. And yes, we do have one that appears to be completely charred. Excuse me. But that's all right. I think what was happening as I was talking about having to clean the grill, I think one of the guards below it had maybe some marinade. So I think that's what happened with the one that flared up a lot on me. But that's all right. I've also let them sit and cool just a little bit because between butter and cheese, something that hot, it's like lava. But this would be a fun thing once I figure out exactly how to do it on the grill. You could be taking them off the grill and eating them right there. So if you just want to make them to serve as just regular sandwiches, just cut them in half. Or if you want to do more of an hors d'oeuvre, you can get kind of fancy and do this. Look at that. Make a little fancy little sandwich there. That's kind of fun. And we'll do a couple with and a couple without. Now I'm going to see, and I don't remember just by looking at them what's in any of these. So I'm going to see if I can figure it out. Ooh, this is peanut butter and cheese. That's really good. I guess Dad was onto something and I didn't realize it. Yum. Let's see what else we've got here. This has bacon, I can feel it. Yep, bacon and cream cheese and I'm a mess. Yum, yum, yum. So, this is my lunch for today. I have a nice little selection of sandwiches. And even though this one is terribly charred, I am going to taste it later just to see how the flavor combination worked. I wouldn't generally advise eating burned bread. But that was fun. I'll tweak it a little bit. And I think also once I get that grill completely cleaned again, which I usually do very frequently, but timing was an issue. So there we go. Set this aside. And I have a nice lunch. Simple salad. And if you were to do this, you want to do the hors d'oeuvres, this would be beautiful on a tray. You could do some cheese and crackers, some fruit, maybe some bruschetta, and spread them all out. Like I said, I think I've done this on the show before. I think I did a grilled cheese with shredded chicken inside, and that was great. And then a couple weeks ago at home, Chris said, oh, I want BLTs. So we made BLTs, we made them bigger. I left off the lettuce, and I added the cream cheese and the sliced cheese, and I toasted mine. And he said, well, where's the lettuce? It's not a BLT. I said, it doesn't have to be. This is really good. And he agreed. So that's a little twist on BLTs, because tomatoes are coming in now, and they're so fresh and delicious. You don't even need to put salt or anything else on them. They're just wonderful. So look at me eating. I don't normally do that, but I'm hungry. So come on back soon. Like I said, we're going to be filming at least one a week for the next few weeks and having people up here to visit, which is a lot of fun. And we're going to be making all sorts of things. And now we're going to start getting into fall. So I want to start thinking about all the fall vegetables that are coming. I mean, we're not yet because it's only August, please. I'm not rushing it. But we want to start getting into soups again, stews, heartier things. I've been cooking the Rotary luncheon for them this summer because they generally get their luncheons through the schools, and they're out right now. And I've had so much fun. Every week has just been some sort of huge salad with different meats and different greens and different vegetables. And this week, I wanted to do something hot, so I made them sloppy joes like you've seen me make at the Free Meals Kitchen. And then just a big tossed salad with it, and they loved it. They didn't go trick-or-treating afterwards, but they really loved it. They're kind of a throwback to everybody's childhood. And then I was able to I had a little bit left over up to the studio, and they cleaned out the pots for me. So it turned out really well. And that's kind of stuff I look forward to. I mean, I love light summer cooking, but every once in a while I just want to get the crock pot out and start with something else. So that's kind of what I'm looking at now. And of course up here I always have to think a season ahead anyway. So that's what I do. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to play with a lot more with squash and such this fall. I haven't really worked with squash a lot. I've done spaghetti squash, and I've roasted squash as a base for a soup, but I haven't really done like squash stews and stuff. So I'd like to try to do that because people are asking for those sorts of things. And like I said, just because it's something I haven't used before or maybe is not to my personal taste, it's still fun to do, and I generally get really good reviews. And my mushroom cooking is case in point on that. The ladies were up here a couple weeks ago. One of them was vegetarian, and I made burgers one night. So I did portobellos for her. I just threw them in the oven at 350 for like 20 minutes to dry them a little. And then I stuffed them. Actually, that was the night I made stuffed chicken breasts. So I used the same stuffing that I used for the chicken breast, which was ricotta and mozzarella and spinach and herbs and different things. And then put them back in to bake. And then I made a light marinara over it. And she just raved. She said it was wonderful, and I was very proud of that. So she's also sent me some more vegetarian recipes, the actual recipes that I'd like to play with. So we're going to do that. So come on back soon, see me. In the meantime, I'm going to have lunch. So I'll tell you real quick, you can call me at 248-933-4579. Catch me on Facebook, Treetop Lodge Oxford, or our website, treetoplodgeoxford.com. And my email is stormy3958@att.net. So in the meantime, be nice to one another, remember the promise, and I'll see you up here at the lodge very soon. Lunchtime.